In this lesson, we'll begin a review of Writing Test 8, Section 2, and we have the first of 4 passages, 11 questions each. Compost, don't waste this waste. Over the past generation, people in many parts of the United States have become accustomed to dividing their household waste products into different categories for recycling. Regardless, paper may go in one container, glass and aluminum in another, regular garbage in a third. So we have this topic sentence, this opening sentence that states that people have become used to dividing their household waste. And then we have the different types of waste listed. We've got paper in one category, glass and aluminum in another, regular garbage in a third. Regardless means in spite of. It doesn't make any sense here. So in the opening sentence, it introduced that people were used to splitting up their household waste, and then we have different examples. And so this is definitely an example. And if you notice after this and even into the next page, there's really not a question for a while, but you still want to read all this to make sure you understand the main theme. There might be a question about the whole passage, and time really won't be an issue for you. So I'm just going to go and continue reading. Recently, some U.S. cities have added a new category, compost, organic matter such as food scraps and yard debris. Like paper or glass recycling, composting demands a certain amount of effort from the public in order to be successful, but the inconvenience of composting are far outweighed by its benefits. Most people think of banana peels, eggshells, and dead leaves as waste, but compost is actually a valuable resource with multiple practical uses. When utilized as a garden fertilizer, compost provides nutrients to soil and improves plant growth while deterring or killing pests and preventing some plant diseases. And so I read all that. I talked about this new category that was developed and introduced some examples of it. And even though it's inconvenient, it's very helpful because it's utilized as a garden fertilizer and it improves growth while deterring plants. So it just gives you a better idea of this passage. It also enhances soil texture, encouraging healthy roots and minimizing or annihilating the need for chemical fertilizers. So annihilating means completely destroying. You usually hear this with if you're reading about war or it's something that is completely destroyed. And this is a tone issue, right? It just doesn't fit here. And even though we're trying to get rid of the fertilizers, we're not utterly destroying them, right? And so look at the choices. We just want the best tone that fits, and it's just eliminating, right? It's not ousting. That's too casual and closing the door. So the answer is B for number 2. Better than soil at holding moisture. Compost minimizes water, waste, and storm runoff. It increases savings on watering costs and helps reduce erosion on embankments near bodies of water. So question 3, in the beginning we have this participial phrase, better than soil at holding moisture. Then we have the subject, right, that the phrase describes. Compost minimizes water, waste, and storm runoff, comma, it. This is a classic comma splice. You can never have an independent clause and a comma, it. It creates a run-on. And look at the rest of the sentence. We've got minimizes, we've got increases, Oxford comma, and helps. Parallel structure, and it's just correct without the it. That would definitely be wrong. It'd be a run-on sentence. And so the answer here is C. And let's just do one more, and then we'll stop this video to number 4. In large quantities, which one would expect to see when it is collected for an entire municipality, compost can be converted into natural gas that can be used as fuel for transportation or heating and cooling systems. So question number 4, in large quantities. And then we have, this you hopefully recognize as a non-essential clause, which one would expect to see when it's collected for an entire municipality. This is just giving extra information. And whenever you see these, it's testing punctuation a lot of the time. You want to be parallel. And here we have a closed parenthesis. And so we need to be parallel a closed parenthesis. If, for example, we had a dash, we'd need a dash. If there's a comma, it's a comma. And you don't see these parentheses too much, but the rule is you have to be parallel. And there's no comma before, but there is after it. And so just keep that in mind. And you can always read it without the parentheses or the whatever the punctuation, and then make sure it still links the clause. In large quantities, compost can be converted into natural gas. Totally works. And so the answer here is B.